Hey guys, how's it going here? Dan Kitajima here. Simply here to make these videos to help you grow your insurance agency and win in the insurance business. So I have an agency here that's $13 million book size with no acquisitions, how to recruit staff and how to retain them. So those are the two things I want to talk to you guys about. So first of all, I want to just acknowledge you guys for even clicking on this video, because that means you're willing to invest your time into learning. I understand how difficult it is to recruit staff, so that's why I made this video, to try to help you guys out, make this job a lot easier, which is probably one of the most important jobs that we have. What I want to do is bring as much value as possible and share with you guys everything I know about how to recruit staff these days and also how to retain them. By the way, this video is not going to be about how to hire remotely and virtually, because I know that's going out there, which is very exciting. But for this video in particular, we're going to be talking about how to have an office environment and how to recruit staff members in your local area to come work at your agency physically. Here's my team. There's 15 of us. 6 of them has been with me for over 6 years. And one of them is reaching her 10-year anniversary. So yeah, I have experience in growing a team and trying to retain them also. In about 8 months, our lease is going to be up, and we have plans to expand our office size, maybe even double it. So definitely, I made this video not only for you guys, but to remind myself how to recruit and retain employees and to grow our insurance agencies. When it comes to recruiting staff, I want to start off with why we want to hire more staff. Because that could be something that's going into your head, because payroll is a major expense. You're dealing with people, so that could create headaches. Your profit might suffer in the beginning too. The cost of living, depending on where you are. I'm in Orange County, Southern California, so it's not cheap to hire somebody. So first thing first, before we go into how, let's talk about why we want to do something that is very difficult in today's market. Number one, I'm very curious. I'm very curious of what could happen with my agency in the future. I really understand the potential this business has. And it'll be very interesting for me to find out, hey, how big can I build this agency? Curiosity is a big part of wanting to hire more staff and wanting to grow. So I put that up there. Number two, it's fun. I remember when I was a brand new agent, I was just by myself as an agency owner, and I was working out of a conference room with no staff members. And I tried working at home too, but it was frankly just too boring for me. It's just funner when you have camaraderie in your office. You feel like you're helping somebody out. You're sharing their wins. You're talking about how to make them better. You also see them doing better in their careers too, even personally too. They'll get married or have kids or buy a home. You get a lot of fulfillment of not only having you win in this business, but seeing other people and helping other people win in the business. It's fun, and it's frankly very fulfilling. So I think that's another reason that we want to continue to recruit staff members. Number three, agency owners, depending on your situation. But in my situation, I feel like I've graduated to another level. Meaning that, in the beginning, we do sales ourselves, we do customer service ourselves. But there comes a certain point where, you have staff members that could help you do that. But now, as an operator of the business, finding ways to improve your team by, recruiting staff, maybe the marketing, motivating them, training them. So these are the duties that I have now. I don't really do much customer service at all or sales, but I feel like this is more of the agency's need right now as the agency owner, what I should be doing. So recruiting is one of the most important things we could do as agency owners. So I graduated from those different tasks and duties that we have and responsibilities, and I graduated to recruiting, training, motivating, and retaining staff members. It's kind of what I consider my job to be nowadays. And number four, I want to grow. And that's why you're watching this video too, because you want to grow as well. There's only so much we could do as one person. There's only so many policies, even if you're the best sales agent, there's only so many policies you could sell. There's only so many people you could talk to. So in order for us to grow, we just need more people at our agencies. You have to recruit staff if you want to grow. Even with all the headaches and all, the dishonesty sometimes, or all the people that you have to go through, I know that finding one superstar hire makes so much difference in your agency. I want to go through 10 bad ones to find that one good one. And hopefully this video will help you not have to go through 10 to find that one good person. With the right system, you can make this process more efficient, where you make the right hire and don't make the bad hiring decisions that could be a headache. Let's get into how to recruit staff. So number one thing I have on here is your current employee's natural market. All right, so that means whoever your current employees know. That seems to be the best one for me. And then also your natural market too, people you just naturally know, people who follow you on social media. One of the things that we have to consider when it comes to your current employees' natural market is, number one, that you're taking care of your current employees as best as possible right now. If you're taking care of them, you're going to get more out of them, and that's going to spread. The people are going to hear about that, and people are going to talk. If your employees are getting more value from you at working at your agency, you're going to feel comfortable letting other people know about the opportunity at your agency. By taking really good care of them, that's going to lead to potentially having people refer their friends, even their family, to your agency. Okay, I have some siblings here that work together. A lot of them went to high school together. From their candidates' perspective, they heard good things about you, so they're a little bit more interested in working for you because they have somebody that already basically gave you a testimonial. So it's not as cold as finding somebody online that you don't know and they don't know you. And also for me, I feel like this employee is giving me this referral. That means this person must have positive views, or at least knows this person as a person that's good enough for them to feel comfortable referring them to me. So there's a little bit of familiarity in the situations. My best hires are my employees' natural market, just people they know. It might be good to have a contest out there. Throw it out there where you say, hey, $1,000 recruiting bonus if you refer me somebody, and if we hire them, payable in 60 days after that person's employment. You can make your own rules, but throwing a little contest out there will help you with the natural market situation from your employees. Number two, I have used social media and your leads management system. Social media has been a game changer for our agency. Let's face it, everybody's on their phones all the time. So we want to let people know social media is such a great way to communicate with the rest of the world. So letting people know that you're hiring on social media, that's been my number two strategy. What I would recommend is to make a video and let everybody know that you're hiring. While you're writing out the script, you're thinking what's the value that you bring to the workplace and what's the value you bring to the candidate. So it'll make you think why they would want to work here. You could take a video of your office. You could show everybody what your office looks like. You could be on camera, so you could show them what your potential employer will look like. It's just a great way to communicate. And if you have one great video, you don't have to do it over and over again. So make one great video, and you could show that over and over and over again instead of having to talk to each candidate about what you have to offer each and every time, because some days you're not feeling well, some days you don't have the energy, some days you're not dressed the right way. But if you make one great video, you can show that over and over again. So making a video that you're recruiting and making a good one is highly recommendable in today's world. And then once they watch the video, you want to eventually have an application they can fill out. For me, I have it on my website so they can fill that out. Okay, so you can get some basic information about them, about where they live, or if they can speak another language, or if they have their insurance license. And you could ask some pretty basic questions to see if they could be a good fit for you. So once that application is filled out, one of the things that I always talk about in my video is having a CRM system or a lead management system that sends out automation. So when it comes to hiring, it's a sales job. We have to follow up with them. So instead of us doing it ourselves, what we're going to do is we're going to have the lead system just do that. Okay, so we're going to have the lead management system just email them periodically if they don't fill out another form that you want to, or if they don't schedule an appointment to call. You could have lead management systems do a lot of different things, and you just don't want to be the person that's calling or texting or emailing them all the time. So have an automated system where just use your lead management system. That's what I do, but use that and build another system for your recruiting system, where you want to make a lot of things as automated as possible. With the lead management system, we send them a link to Ideal Traits. So Ideal Traits is a software that I really recommend. It's a tool. It's an assessment test that they take, and they ask them questions, and you really get a better understanding of what their personality is. So they give you like a one-word description of who they are. Okay, it could be a sales leader, it could be nurturer, it could be planner, competitive, consistent, and it's pretty accurate from my experience. You get a pretty good idea of what this person is like without even having to spend any time with them. A couple other components that's great is problem solving. So problem solving is very important when it comes to our business, because that's kind of what we do as insurance professionals. And then it also has a written part too, which is very important because in these days and times, a lot of people prefer the written communication. So you want to see how they'll be able to, type an email or a text, and how they could communicate professionally in a written format. And then another system I recommend is Calendly. So Calendly will help you get everything organized where you could use the lead management systems. Once they take the assessment, you could put them in a different sales stage and say, hey, now I want them to ask for a phone call or a video conference or in-person interview. Depending on the situation, whatever you prefer, you can send out your calendar, they can schedule it online, and it'll show up on their calendar and your calendar, and now you have an interview set. And then I think maybe another thing that we may want to consider, to just have maybe the offer ready on the interview. If you have somebody that's a great candidate and you just have a great intuition because you already know their personality, because you talked over the phone already, or because you had done some video conference and you emailed back and forth, by the time you have somebody in the office and you have a pretty good feeling that this is going to work out and you want this person to join your team, you don't want to seem desperate. You may have to be a little bit more aggressive these days. You may want to make that offer on the spot there instead of emailing it to them later or letting them know about it later. Number 3, adjust your starting pay. Again, the job market is tougher, so we may have to adjust your base pay. I adjusted my base pay higher and it got more candidates applying. Everything's going up, including insurance prices, but so are payroll prices and what's out there in the marketplace too. Number 4 is look for inexperienced hires. Think long term. Some of the employees we have here are 19 years old. I've had a lot of people who started at 19 years old, now they're 25, and now they're great examples of an insurance professional. So you want to think long term. Yeah, I get it. It's really hard to trust, younger people. But, I don't really like to discriminate based on age. Everybody's different. There's going to be some different people with maturity level, communication level. I think that is something to consider. Lastly, this is the big one. Make sure you're winning in the business. If you're winning in the business, it's going to make recruiting so much easier because people are going to want to work for a winner. They want to join an organization that's going places, that's actually getting awards, that's actually growing. If you want to be a winner, then you want to join the winning team. Same thing in sports. You want to go to a team that's winning. Your activity level and your knowledge of the insurance business and your production is at a very, very high level because that's going to attract other people that wants to do well in this business too. If you have mediocre results, if you have mediocre mindset, if you have anything mediocre, then it's going to be very hard to attract top talent. To find A-plus players, you're going to have to be an A-plus player and an A-plus agency yourself. Once I started going on social media and being more open about, some of the things we've accomplished, it has resulted in other people applying and having interest in joining our team because they see that we're going the right direction. If you do start winning in this business, recruiting does become easier. So now let's get into how to retain staff. So just like we did on the other one, we're going to talk about why you want to retain your staff. When it comes to a policy, it's so much cheaper to keep one than to sell a new one. Same thing with employee retention is that it's just better if you have a staff member that's with you for multiple years because we know how hard it is to train somebody. This business takes experience, it takes expertise, it takes knowledge, it takes getting licensed too. So these are all things that you can't take any shortcuts. So if you have somebody that's doing well at your agency, then it's in your very best interest to do everything you can to have that person grow with you because long term you're going to have a core group of people that believe in your mission, that's going to stay with you. So being able to retain your staff is going to be key to being able to grow your insurance agency. For this, there really isn't going to be a how-to system just like we talked about for how to recruit. This is going to be more about big picture, kind of like my philosophies on how to retain staff. So I'm just going to go with my number 1 philosophy. Okay, the number 1 philosophy is that I look at it as I work for them. So this is going to require you to get rid of your ego. Your whole goal is to have them succeed. So you're going to want to help them. Okay, you want to make sure you're motivating them. Make sure they're getting the right training from you. You never want to be in a situation where you have them in a situation where they don't know what to do. Because the work is not going to be as fun, they're not going to be as confident, so you want to give them as much training as possible. I do recommend the role play with the Olsen agency, RPOA. That's a great resource there of being able to have new staff and even existing staff improve their skill level. And then you also want to make sure they're getting the good leads. I have a video on my compensation plan, but you definitely want to have them on a very rewarding and motivating compensation plan. So that's very important too, but then you also have to provide them the leads. Feeding your agents is so important because my obligation to them is to give them the opportunity. So I got to do my part and make sure they have everything they have within this agency to succeed in this business. A couple other things is be available. Most of the time I'm out there in the cubicles being available if they have any questions, if they need something to talk about. It comes down to work ethic too. I'm here at 7 a.m., leaving here past 7 p.m. Last one person to leave. So that's the type of work ethic you want to show. Be an example for your staff members. what type of work ethic you need, what type of mindset you need, showing them that you're being accountable. Not only does it have to do with how to win in the insurance business, but how to win in general. They'll get value from working from you. That's really the situation I want to create. I learned a lot. This is a great place. I'm motivated. Have a positive view. I'm more grateful. I have more discipline. These are things, if they could help them understand these things and help them become a winner in life, that's going to help them want to stay with you because they want to keep growing with you and they are going to be believers in what you're trying to teach them. And another thing, it's going to sound very funny, but maybe I'll ask you as a question. Do you think you guys should increase your expectations from them or decrease your expectation from your employees? What has helped me actually is I want to decrease my expectations of them. So this may sound weird, but I'll tell you how it has helped me out. When I have decreased my expectations from them, it just made me into a nicer leader. Sometimes when we expect too much from them, that's going to make you into a leader that isn't as nice. And I do believe that being nice and kind and being empathetic it's naturally my style, but that's what gives you long-term results. Okay, some of the ways to help us expect less is to understand that, hey, their compensation is very different than yours. Their names are not on the front door. It's not their agency. They're not going to care as much as your agency as you. They really shouldn't. So you want to lower your expectations from them, have them start off with some of the most basic things in the insurance business. Really the only expectations which you have for them is to have a good attitude at all times and have a good work ethic. And if you keep your expectations as basic as possible, you're going to be very patient with them. Okay, you're going to be more nicer to them. Again, go back to the philosophy is that I work for you. What can we do for them? And we want to bring so much value to them. Hey, I taught you what liability means. I got you licensed. Taught you how to cross-sell. Just everything. If you help them out and help them win in this business, that's when they return the favor and help you win in the business. So it's almost like I'm guilting them into being committed to me because I was so committed to them first. I think any good person, if someone's doing something so nice to you, is really trying hard for you, any good person would not want to take advantage of that and feel like they want to give back to that person. So that's the situation that I want to put myself into, me trusting them first. And then they'll maybe, if you're lucky, they'll trust you and be committed to you. So it is a long-term play. It doesn't happen overnight. It is very difficult. The reason I'm doing it is to get the business results. The more I give, the more I'm helping myself. It's not all for charity. I am a business person. By being nice to your employees and being giving, it is something where you'll definitely get the rewards and in levels much higher than I feel like you're giving to. That's kind of what I want to share with you guys on how to retain your staff. I hope you find your next superstar and hope you guys, can win at a higher level in business. Recruiting staff members is so important and then retaining staff members is so important. So if this video helped you guys in any ways, let me know. If you have any questions, put it in the comments. But until next time, stay hungry. Let's get it. Thank you guys.